friends. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying hydrated. So, the lighting might look a little different because I'm using a different light today. This is the light I normally use. And this is the light we're using today. We're using a light much like it. We're using this guy's little brother. Well, little brother. It's his twin brother. I had to bring these up here. I usually keep my lights in the car, which I know is like not good, but I live in a pretty safe apartment complex. You know, it's all secured and stuff. So these usually stay in the car because these are my workhorse lights. They are Astra light panels 6X. They're bicolor, which is really cool because you can switch the color temperature to daylight. But since I'm shooting tungsten, I probably look really ghastly looking. And they're super powerful. Wow. I just shoot all my videos like this. Hold on, let's see. Yeah. My camera has ND filters and it makes a fun noise. Yeah. Let's turn it down to a normal level. But that lets me use this. Fuck. That's pretty bright too if you shine it 100% right at you. Where are we at? Yeah. We can do all kinds of fun things with this. Turn it down a little bit. Yes. I like messing with the lights. It's fun. So, I really didn't have anything to talk about other than somebody dropped one of my lights, and so I had to fix them, which was kind of annoying because they dropped it and it broke, and then they forgot the part that they broke. So basically what's happened is there's screws right here, there's 4 of them, and they hold the assembly together, and then the thing just kind of comes apart. You just kind of pull it. But there's these silver rails that kind of keep everything together, and they dropped it. The screws came out, and they forgot to pick up the bottom rail, so wherever that is, it's just lost. So that's fun. And then I noticed that some screws were loose on this other one, so I just brought them all up here to mess with. So, and then I also was able to fix. So these are powered with XLR. And you see it right, unplug. A lot of times when people who aren't me put them away, they forget to unplug the power cables, which are these XLR cables here, which just go like that, which is fine. The problem is when you pack this, they go one on top of the other, and the weight pushes in on this, and it cracked one of these. So I was able to fix that today with some super glue and gaff tape. Which is not the best of fixes, but I was able to actually look at it because I was looking at the manual to find the parts that I need to order to fix the one they fucked up. And I realized how easy it was to take apart, and I was like, oh, okay, let me look at this, because I just hadn't ever looked into it because I just assumed it was going to be a pain in the ass. And it turned out it was really simple. And I was like, wow, that's stupid. Then I didn't try sooner. But, so I went in there and I tried super glue first and it didn't really hold. So then I super glued it again. And then I just taped the shit out of it. And now I'm kind of using it just to make sure, everything is functional and everything seems functional. It's been running for 5 minutes now. And it hasn't started on fire or electrocuted me. So I think we're good to go. So, anyway, that's the thing with renting gear. It's a very lucrative way to make money. I rent these guys. These guys are about $1,000 each. And then their battery plate is another $150 to get just this dumb piece of plastic. And then the batteries go for $200-$300 each. And they last, if you're shooting full power, which 50% or less, you can get a couple hours out of it. So I rent kind of these kits just to people I mostly trust, and I just rent them for like $50 a day as like a friend rate, even though the going rate for these would probably be $50 each. And I throw in batteries and stuff. I feel like my voice is kind of weak today, but maybe it's just the headphones. Or maybe it's because like my hair is down, and my hair is my hair in the way? No, not really. Anyway, so that's pretty cheap. But it's like the amount of times they have gone out on rentals. I mean, I've probably earned a couple $100 and that's just the people I trust. If it was someone I didn't know very well, I probably wouldn't rent to them just because it's kind of a hassle, and I don't really want to trust people with stuff because people are mean with rentals. Like I used to rent my big camera out for a couple $100 a day, but then like I watched someone drop it once, and I was like, okay, I'm not renting that camera out anymore. It's just like, it wasn't worth it. So I was just like, yeah, let's just not rent mission critical stuff out anymore. But these are workhorse lights. They're very solid. They've been dropped. They still work. And so these are fine to go out because I still have other lights I can use if it came down to it. Like, I don't usually use this one for professional stuff. That's not because it's not good enough. It works great, and I have used it for professional stuff. It's just battery powered. I don't really know how long the battery lasts, and so I don't really want to trust it to fail, even if I fully charge it. It's like, how long will it really get me? And I have other lights that are better, that are more powerful, or run off my batteries that I have, so it just doesn't make sense to it's nice. If you ever read Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about kind of like having a setup for things, and so by having like the house light, the light for the house, it makes it easier for me to make videos. It's, I don't have to go get the case that's really heavy, lug it up the stairs, pull the lights out, find the big batteries for it, make sure the batteries are charged. There's all these extra steps I could just do away with by having this guy here. It just saves me a lot of time, and it's really cool, and I like it, even though the quality of this light is slightly better. Although at the same time it's shooting, so this is a longer, let me show you. Okay, hold on. So this is shooting a taller beam, which means I'm getting a more even spread. And especially if I turn this one off, so here's with that off, and you see how it's hitting my face more evenly. And if I turn this off and turn this one back up, you see the lights coming more bottom up. And I kind of like that look. And there's a really famous cinematographer. His name's Richard Deakins, and he does that a lot. He calls it cove lighting, where he'll take like fabric and make like a sweep, and then shoot light kind of into the bottom of it, and then it kind of comes from the bottom of the face. And I'm actually kind of liking how that looks, because I shot some photos recently, and the light, it was like a window was near it, and I was like, yeah, let's use that. And because the sun was hitting the snow and bouncing off the snow, it was kind of coming from a downward direction, and I was like, I kind of like the way that looks, so I wanted to play with that a little more. And I had my Astras just sitting here, so I was like, let's play with it. I could do more, I think, to shape it. Like, especially if I had another piece of like foam core, or if I took this guy and played it more. And it's still too bright. It's too bright if you just show it right at your face. But if I set it on like the lowest power setting, it kind of like gives it's still too bright. It gives a feeling. It's a subtle difference. This is real camera nerd shit. Oh, I think a voice is so weak today. I need a powerful voice. I am not staying hydrated. That's my problem. Gotta get back into it. It's because I fasted a lot yesterday. Get back on that fasting game. I did 17 hours yesterday. I did like 10 today, so I really didn't fast at all. But I'm getting back into the long fast game. Gonna try really do some extended fasts, some 48 fasts here this next month. Get after it. But so that's kind of a thing. And when we moved to the new apartment, my girlfriend is interested in doing ASMR because she's been listening to ASMR for a while, and I was like, you should make a channel too, because I didn't watch her channel do way better than mine. But it's like, if we're setting up an office for it, like, let's set it up. Let's go into it planning a studio. I thought I just repair my phone. But let's go into it planning a studio that we could, swap the camera around, and now we have like a different background. So it's just a thing where we just turn the camera sideways, and hey, now we have it. But we could take a bright light like this, and if you push it up, you could be bouncing it off a wall and still get really nice light. And so it's a very compact setup. And I think bounced light always looks better anyway. So it's easy to get a nice compact setup, good lighting. One of these guys runs for $1,000, which I probably wouldn't buy a new one. But maybe. There goes Bear, just making all his noise. You good? He's been real good lately about not getting water. Like right when I started recording, he'll usually run just to his little fort. So, but yeah. So I like these. They're great workhorses. They're a little, I'm not gonna say they're pricey for what you get. There are better lights out there for the money, but in terms of like durability and like portability, versatility, these are winners. I have an Aperture 300D, 600D, whatever it is, or it's a 300X. That's what I have, a 300X. And that's really great, but like it has like a ballast, so it has like more parts, but you could put like big soft boxes on it, and you could do all kinds of like crazy stuff with it, and that costs about the same as one of these. It feels a little more fragile. Like I wouldn't want to drop it. But like these, I'm just like, whatever, just yuck, hook 'em places. So it might be nice to buy a third one, leave that one in the house, and then for days when we need the extra firepower, I could bring it along, because it's easy to pack up. So that might not be a bad idea. If GameStop goes up again, like a crazy amount, because I don't know if you've been following the stock market, but the GameStop did one of these earlier this week. It went up to like 180, and it's been kind of just sitting there around 100 again, and people are like, and so it's like, okay, if it gets to 250, that's probably my number. But I don't advise anyone to buy that stock, because right now it is equally likely to go way down. So do not, unless you literally like to gamble. It feels like a coin flip, and there is not a lot of indicators that would tell you when or why it would do either way. I think it's good stock. I like the stock. They have a lot of new people coming into the board of directors who have a lot of experience, and I think they're going to do great things. So even if it doesn't go sky high in the near future, I think they're going to be on the right track, and it's going to be a company to watch. So there's your stock market tip. Buy some GameStop, but only if it's under $50, I think. I think for me that's I would not, again, I'm like advising people. I don't want to give you advice, do your own research, but for me, I would not pay more than $50 for it, I think, because it's just so volatile. It's just going all over the place. But I think it could. I think it could legitimately be worth, you know, $200-300 in the future potentially, if they can execute on their ideas, and the market responds to the ideas, which I think it will. I think they have a bright future. So anyway, but if it does, if I win the casino game and it goes through the roof, I'll buy one more. So there you go, and we'll have a ASMR setup, really, really cooking. Nice. Yeah. What else can I talk about with? I don't know. There's not a lot more I could talk about these lights. They're very basic. They have two knobs and a power switch. A lot of other lights these days have Bluetooth. Like, I think this has Bluetooth, but it's kind of silly because you can't. You have to like connect to each one individually, whereas like the aperture stuff, you can connect to all the lights and have them like, you could even group them. You could be like, that one and that one like are group A, that one and that one are group B, and so you can like do like changes on the fly, which is kind of cool. And I really like, they have these little lights, they're called MC, like Amaran MC something, I don't know, but they're like the size of my fist, and they're like $90. They're pretty powerful for what you get. That you can run them off USB-C. They have internal batteries that last for 30-45 minutes, give or take, depending on how hot you run it. And yeah, I have a couple of those. They're pretty cool. And I want to get some more because I just like them, even though I really don't need them. But I think there's a lot of cool things I could do if I had like 2 or 4 more of them. But I get, then it's like, oh, you're really gonna spend $400 just for like some goofy ideas. Like, it's probably not the best use of money. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. Just some frustration that turned into a learning experience, which turned into a nice testing experience. And yeah, so I'm gonna get off, get hydrated because my voice is feeling real weak, and I'm gonna tell you that you should go hydrate. And I hope you're doing well. And if not, well, I hope that turns around for you here real soon. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Go drink some water.